Welcome back, this is Sanju's Robotics Studio. Today we are going to see how to make a face mask detector using Raspberry Pi and a Pi camera. Last week I posted a video on YouTube on the working of this project. Now let's see how to make it. If you have not watched the video, I have put the link in the description. Kindly watch the video.
Turn on your computer and plug in the SD card to your computer. Go to sdcard.org and download the SD card formatter. There are two options for Windows and for Mac. Choose your operating system and download the software. And we also need a software called as Balena Etcher to flash the OS images to the SD card. So by using this Balena Etcher, we can flash all types of OS to the SD card. Now we need to download the Raspbian OS. Go to the raspbian.org. The links for all this are given in the description. Download Raspberry Pi OS with desktop and recommended software. You can either use a normal download or download using torrent. Now open the SD card formatter and select your SD card. In my case, it is G. I am using a 32GB SD card. So select your SD card and click on Quick Format. Rename the volume as Boot. And click on Format. After the formatting is complete, open the Balena Etcher software and click on Flash from File. Select the Raspbian OS and also select your target. So in my case, the location is G, and I already said I am using 32GB SD card, so I'll select it and click on Flash. The flashing might take some more time. It may take up to 30 minutes. So once the flashing is completed, Windows might not recognize the system. It says F is unavailable. And it also has to format the disk. So don't click format, click cancel. Now you can safely remove a hard SD card from your system and plug it into the Raspberry Pi. In next step, we will see how to use the SD card in Raspberry Pi and use the VNC software to get the screen on the system. First, for the initial setup, I have used a monitor and a wireless keyboard and mouse to connect the Raspberry Pi. After that, we can use our laptop's keyboard, mouse or screen to control it using the VNC software. First, let us boot it on. Now the Raspberry Pi has started booting. So it says welcome to the Pi desktop, powered by Raspberry Pi OS 32-bit. Once the Raspberry Pi has been booted up, you will be displayed a pop-up box saying welcome to Raspberry Pi. Follow the steps so that you can get the Raspberry Pi desktop working. select your country. So I'm in India, so I'm using India. And select the language. So I'll select English. You can select what language you want. I'm using English language and US keyboard. So it takes some time to set the location, time zone and language everything. Now it asks you to enter a password. So for this tutorial I am using the password just a random password. You can use any password you want. So now it's asking whether you see this black border around the desktop. No, I am not seeing the black border, so I am giving next. If you want, you can connect to the wireless network or skip this step. It will ask for a software update. You can either give for a software update or click skip. So given the software update, it takes some time to install the software update. So now, go to the Raspberry Pi configuration, click on the Pi symbol and go to Preferences and Raspberry Pi configuration. Go to Interfaces and enable the VNC. And click OK. Now the VNC has been enabled in your system. You also have to make sure that both your system and the Raspberry Pi is on the same network for the VNC server to work. Once both your Raspberry Pi and the laptop are in the same network, you will get an IP address. You need to download the VNC server in your laptop. The link is in the description. So after downloading, you need to type this link address in your system. So type the address in your system. So it's connecting to the IP address and it will ask for you to click continue and it asks a username and the password which we entered earlier. Once both the username and password have been validated by the VNC server, we can get the Raspberry Pi desktop. Now you have completed this step. Let's move on to the next step. Once you have got the display on your laptop, open the Chrome browser or any browser of your choice and type A.R.M.D, a Robotic Mask Detector. And open the instructable link. The link is also provided in the description. So you can just scroll down and you can see the supplies. If you want any of the supplies, you can just buy it from the links. So now we have completed the first step, that is using the VNC, and next now we need to clone the repository. Just copy the program from the instructables link and open up a terminal in the Raspberry Pi. paste the link. You can use shift and shift insert, or you can right click and click on paste. Now the GitHub will automatically clone the repository into your local system. Once the cloning is done, we need to download the packages called as virtualenv and virtualenv wrapper to create a virtual environment in the Python. So just paste the code and it automatically gets downloaded. Once it is downloaded, head back to the Chrome and we have to make some changes to our profile file. So type sudo nano */ dot profile, or you can just paste it from the link. Scroll to the last part and paste the lines which are given in the tutorial. You need to find your Python version. The Python 3.5 or 3.7 is only compatible for this project. So I am typing Python 3 to check my Python version. So I am using a Python 3.7.3. So I will be typing Python 3.7.3. We will typing Python 3.7 and replace your Python version with the Python version you are using. Source.profile. And once the virtual wrapper is successfully works, head back to the Chrome and again, now you need to navigate to your cloned repository. So I need to navigate to the repository and create a virtual environment. Once virtual environment is created, it will be automatically activated, or you can also activate it manually by using the command work on and the name of your virtual environment. Now we need to install the required files for this project. Just type pip3 install -r requirements.txt. This will automatically install the required files for this project. Once all the file is downloaded, we can head back to the next step. And we also need to install the Pico TTS for the voice feedback. So we have to go to the home-assistant.io and download the Pico TTS using the links given in the website. So copy and paste the code in the terminal. Now you also have your Pico TTS running in your system. Now we'll see the next step of attaching a camera and enabling it. In order to attach the camera to the Raspberry Pi, you need to shut down your Raspberry Pi. After shutting down, the VNC server will be exited, so it will be showing a grey screen. Now we'll see how to connect the Raspberry Pi camera. Pi is powered off. You can just remove the power supply. And you can see a camera port inside. Lift it up, gently lift it up and slide it to the other side. And put the Raspberry Pi static cable inside, which is the blue tip is facing the Ethernet pins. And tightly fasten it and lock both the black color pins again, and ensure that the camera is not removing during using it. So now we got the camera connected. Let's put the Raspberry Pi again and see how to enable the camera. The configuration and enable the camera as we did for the VNC. Once you enable the camera, open the file manager or a terminal and navigate to your clone repository and activate the virtual environment. Once you have done that, and type python 3 space A.R.M.D. This command makes the Python program to run. This takes time to run. We can see the camera frame and some data printing on the terminal. So that's for a tutorial. If you want to see how these projects work, go to the video which is given in the description. So if you like this project, please like and share.